What's up, guys? Ash here, aka The Flaming Geek. So this is going to be my spoiler-free review of Captain America Civil War. So remember, spoiler-free. But before I start, I just need to show off my awesome t-shirt that I got from Loot Crate. Woo! I'm a huge Trekkie, so a Mirror shirt. I absolutely loved it. It's probably my favorite thing from the March Crate. Anyhow, let's get to it. By now, a lot of millions of people have seen Captain America Civil War. And what did I think about it? I saw the movie 2 weeks ago before its theatrical release. I did a little bit of press for it. And then I saw it again this morning in IMAX. And I have to say, I liked the movie. It was pretty well executed. I was a little worried at first, kind of like how I usually am with movies that have a lot of characters in them. So kind of like how I was nervous for Ultron. I was a little nervous for this because Ultron, they sold us a different trailer than a different movie. And Civil War had the potential to do that. Simply because there's so many characters involved in this movie. But the great thing about it, the Russo brothers were able to mold them all together, mix everything up so that it wasn't too complicated and convoluted, the plot. The action was pretty well done. And the characters each had their moment to shine, which I absolutely love. And you get to see fan favorites like Vision again. Vision, Scarlet Witch, like the Avengers are back, and the conflict that is brought up is the idea of the Sokovia Accords. Should these superheroes have ties strictly restricted to the UN and what the world wants, what these countries want? And Steve makes a really good point in the film that, like, you don't know what the country's agendas are. And so that's what sort of splits it apart. There's those who sign the Sokovia Accords who are in line with Tony Stark, Iron Man, and there's those who do not sign the Accords, which are in line with Captain America. So I think the film really did a great job building that tension so that when these characters clashed, all of them together, both sides, it was a meaningful fight, but it was also a hilarious fight. People were quipping, but it was still, I found it was good quipping. It wasn't overdone like I found in Age of Ultron. And they actually had some responses from some of, you can tell, they, like the writers heard some of the critiques from Ultron about people being like, you're fighting, why are you quipping? They had some laughs in there like that. You get to see Ant-Man come back and have his moment, and that's what I really loved about this movie. Each character, like I've already said, had their moment to shine, which is amazing, which you don't get to see. And the story was still there. The villain, Baron Zemo, played by the lovely and talented Daniel Brühl, was sort of an anti-hero. It was an okay villain. Daniel Brühl portrayed him very well, but I don't know, I'm kind of always on the fence for Marvel villains. I think Loki's the only one they've really hit out of the park as being a sympathetic villain, but also a villain at the same time. And I think that's one thing Marvel kind of struggles with. But at the same time, the pros outweigh the cons. And you finally get to see Black Panther, which the final trailer for this movie showed us Black Panther being a badass. You get to see T'Challa, King of Wakanda, being a badass and taking on these characters that we already know. And it just opens up the Marvel Cinematic Universe even more now. And I'm not just as a person of color, but just in general, I'm happy to see another racial aspect, Africa, being thrown into the mix here. So anyhow, I would rate Captain America Civil War probably an 8.6. There are still some downfalls of the movie. I found towards the end of the film, it felt like the pacing was a little like drawn out, and you're kind of like waiting because you've seen the trailer and you're waiting for this big fight to happen. But like I said, pros outweigh the cons. This is a great movie. Go see it if it isn't already sold out everywhere where you are, because it's sold out where I am. Go see it. Great movie, and I definitely see this one like ruling the box office this summer. All right, and as always, if you have any comments, feel free to put them down there in the comment section. And as always, live long and prosper. Frosty!